The first question I always ask students before we even begin the process of college application is the following. First question: why do you need to go to college? If you haven't asked your child already, ask them this question: why do you need to go to college? Listen intently what they tell you. Because 90% of the kids, children, some of them high schoolers, they don't know why they need to go to college. The single biggest indicator that I see between students that really do well during college admissions and get into the dream school versus someone who gets into a decent school or just a regular college is that most of the time students who get into Ivy, they have a clear goal. They have a clear reason why they need to attend Harvard, Yale, MIT, Stanford, etc. They know exactly why they need to go to college. And even beyond just the need for college, they know exactly why they need to major in whatever studies that they are into. So the second question you would ask them is, why do you need to study your major? That's a terrible looking question mark. Yep, that looks a little bit better. Why do they need to study engineering, for example? Why do they need to study physics? They better tell you the reason why. Engineering, business, whatever major it may be. And if they can't answer you 90% of the time, you are pushing them to just go to a good school without really understanding their motivation and their drive, without really giving them enough time to cultivate their passion and curiosity. The reason why they can't really answer the question is because they haven't thought about it enough. I mean, that's obvious. But how could they be when they are always in school learning? Maybe you have overwhelmed them with too much pressure. Are they pressured to go to college without an exact reason on their own? No, there's no reason for them to study whatever major because they haven't really thought about it. They're just pressured to perform to get into a school. But they don't exactly know why they're going through this process. So that's the biggest mistake you can make as a parent. If you just tell them to go to a school, but you don't even know what it is that they need to go to the school for, just for the name brand, just so they can get a good job, just so they can make some connections. It's what you want them to do. It's what you have instilled onto the children. You haven't given them the opportunity to come up on their own, their reasoning for requiring higher learning. Oh, just because the other parents are doing it to their kids? just because that's the right thing to do. You see my previous video that college is not the goal. College is not the goal. Your goal is to cultivate a child with curiosity, passion, and personality. Who can thrive in today's society, today's ever-changing technological world. This needs to be the goal. You're helping your child find out their life goals. You're helping your child design their life. Design their life first. And if you don't know anything about American education system, what they value is originality. Unique character. They want someone who's unique. Children who is one of one. There's no child like yours. That's how you want them to develop and cultivate. Thanks to the American education I received, I am unique. If you know my background, I am most definitely one of the most unique individuals on the planet. And I'm always thinking to myself, how can I be different? How can I stand out? How can I be different? So, and I'm not saying, don't study engineering because that's what everyone else is doing. Like, if you have a passion for engineering, if you're curious about engineering, if you really want to study engineering so that you can solve the world's problems, that's incredible. That's, you already are on the right track. So continue that. While you continue the studies, you will find how you can differentiate, how you can specialize in that study so that you can become an expert in a particular niche. That's how you stand out. So if this understanding is not planted in their head at the moment, this needs to be the priority. What makes them want to learn something? What makes them want to learn? First of all, do they want to learn? Do they need to learn? Need for learning. They know the importance for learning, but they might not want to learn. Perhaps because they're burnt out from the pressure to perform. Now, this happens especially if your child is starting college prep at the last minute. When I say last minute, it's anywhere between like 10th grade. If you're starting your child's college prep starting 10th grade, you're pretty much late in the game. I was about to say you're ahead, but no, you are late for college prep. Because here's the reality. The kids that have been dreaming of heading into the Ivy Leagues, their parents and the children themselves, they have been preparing since middle school or earlier. So what? Middle school is what? Anywhere between 6th grades to 8th grade? And now you're starting at 10th? Like, you have almost 4-year delay. You're lagging by 4 years if you start at 10th grade. If you start at 11th, 5-year delay. So you need to understand who you're going up against. These are, I mean, I used to call them aliens because they're just so smart, so intelligent. And these group of students, they definitely exist. And they have been preparing for a long, long time. So you need to have a 30,000 feet overview on the college admission landscape. College admission landscape. You might think, yeah, those people with the money get into the top schools. Partially that's true, but most of the time they have been preparing. They have started earlier than you did, than your child. So know this harsh truth. So speaking of 30,000 feet overview, you also need to look at that for your life as well. You see, college is simply 4 years. But your life, nowadays you can live up to 100 plus years. If you can keep up with good health, that's definitely possible. So you are putting everything on the line for 4 years of college, but not seeing 80 plus years of life that you have. How are you planning for this part? This part is way more important than what college you get into. Sure, getting into Harvard can get you into more exclusive opportunities. But Harvard itself doesn't guarantee, there's no guarantee that any college will help you just level up your life. That comes from you putting in the work. Your child must put in the work, must take the initiative. So my question is your child the type to take the lead, to get after it? And does he or she have a life goal? Their 100-year plan, for example. That's how big we need to look at this. College prep is not just about college prep. College prep is about preparing for your real life goals. Because during this process, you will find out about yourself if you do it properly. College prep is a great time for self-discovery. And if you think about it, college is when the first time in your child's life, he or she becomes independent. They can commute from home, but now they are given a sense of responsibility and freedom. And actually, with freedom comes responsibility. So if a child is ill prepared for college, let's say he or she just prepared for college just because everybody else was doing it, they didn't really have a full 30,000 feet overview on how they want to use college as a tool for their life goals, then they will get into college and completely get stuck. They will be asking themselves, what do I do now? They don't know what to do anymore. Because they have no one telling them what to do. So now they have to think on their own. They have to plan everything on their own. And they haven't had the preparation to become self-reliant. Self-reliant. Most of all, there's no passion. They were basically just learning whatever the teacher fed them. Curiosity, drive, willpower. These are all character traits that must be in every single one of your children before they leave for college. They got to have a plan. Because nowadays, AI can do everything for them. AI is going to take over. AI might eliminate whatever desire that they have, whatever passion that they have, because AI can literally just do it for them. They might not have to work anymore. So then what are they living for? What's going to be their purpose? So that's what I'm going to discuss in this channel as we evolve in terms of how this channel grows. I'm going to be intersecting AI with today's education system and how, as parents, how we should be educating our children to thrive in the AI world.